So that was definitely a success, painting this Mazda 6 wagon. Pro Lite, T110 air cap on it, and a 1.2mm fluid tip on it. So the fluid tip sits behind this air cap there, and that's the air cap. They've actually just done this for the Pro Lite, so you can tell it's the Pro Lite air cap because it's got this lighter silver here that looks like the aluminium rather than steel, I think maybe from the GTI Pros. So I was running at 2 bar pressure, right on 2 bar at this regulator there. 4 turns out with the fluid, full fan. Why did I use 1.2 instead of 1.4? Because it's a Mazda. They've got a very fine orange peel in them. And I would say I just about nailed that. That is exactly what a factory Mazda finish looks like. If this was a BMW, there's no way I would have used this setup. Probably would have gone for even the HV30, the HVLP cap, 1.3 or even 1.4. Either that, or I could have even gone for the T20. But I would not have gone for the T110 with a 1.2. I would recommend this setup for people painting in the cold. If you find yourself getting runs, if you've been using HVLP guns or even conventional and it's just putting on that bit too much paint, maybe back off to this. So basically you can see the holes there, they're rather small, so a less amount of air is coming out, and obviously the paint follows the air, and that's the size of your droplets. So this atomizes the paint quite fine. And obviously with a 1.2mm, it's not going to be putting out as much fluid either. This is actually the recommended setup by DNA Paints, who are a custom paint company here in Australia. And they do all their flow coating and stuff with that 1.2 T110 setup. When you're doing flow coating and stuff like that, you may even pull that fluid out a little bit more. Just find that sweet spot, find what works. You'd probably put it on a little bit heavier than I have on this car because I'm trying to replicate that factory finish. If I look over this side, I probably did go a touch wet here. That's probably actually even a little bit flatter than a average Mazda finish. But the rest of the door looks very consistent with that Mazda finish. The only thing that let this job down kind of out of my hands, I don't really even know where it came from. It wasn't there when I finished painting. When I finished doing that, I come back around after doing the other side, whether or not it blew off the roof or up here or something. But yeah, just a little white speck of dust, but there is 2 coats of clear. Hopefully it's just sitting on that top layer and I'll be able to sand it out in the morning. Apart from that, that's just about as close as you're going to get to an off the gun finish. I personally wouldn't touch anything with a buff other than that one spot. And that little burn-in, as they call it in the US, was a bit of a success too. I just used my minigun. This is the DNA Paints chrome gun actually. This is a gun that they recommend to use chrome with, and I just thought, hey, I'll just put some fade outs in there and start using that as my fade out gun. So it's just a 0.8mm, doesn't put too much fluid out, but yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it at that for this review and demo, guys. I'll see if I can get an ending for it tomorrow once it's all washed up. Apart from that, now you've seen this video, get out there and paint some shit. This has been another Gunman production. Goodbye.